Radio Soapbox. Talking music, social issues, and current events. Online at www.radsob.com. Now let's see what's up on Radio Soapbox.
Hey, this is James Alex
and Sweet Charlie
from Beach Slang, and you are listening to Radio Soapbox.
All right, we are in Austin, Texas at the Barracuda, warming up. Dave House is on there, if you can hear, he's in the background, playing a little Tom Petty acoustic. We are with Beach Slang, a.k.a. James Alex, and his wonderful assistant manager, jack of all trades, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
Charlie.
yeah.
So, Quiet Slang.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with that, man?
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, I've heard it. It's excellent.
Thank you, man.
And I've heard in the grapevine you got a lot more of that coming soon, which is what it's called. We Were Babies, We Were Dirtbags, correct? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? What's the deal? What made you do that? What's the whole...
Yeah, man, I think it's, look, in a broad stroke, it's sort of like just rounding out the narrative of, what beach slang is, and I suppose like who I am as a writer. I didn't want to get sort of painted into a corner, paint myself into a corner where it's this one gear kind of thing. Because as much as I love the replacements, I love the magnetic fields, right? And it's just like I wanted to sort of plant a foot in all the worlds I sort of dig, and I just like I love rowdy, drunk Saturday nights, but I also love still calm Sunday mornings, right?
Yeah.
And
I think you had a good quote I was read somewhere. It was like, kind of like your beach slang is like your Saturday night go get drunk and party night, while Sunday is salvation. That's kind of like Quiet Slang. So that was a good analogy actually to put it like that.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Sometimes I get lucky smashing words together.
Maybe. So do you guys seriously? You guys, I'm not just joking on you. I mean, maybe I don't know every band, every musician, every artist out there. Sure. You guys are seriously like the hardest working, nonstop group of people in the artist music community. I mean, you guys are seriously touring non-freaking stop. I mean, I know you went like I wrote a note here because couldn't even keep track. I don't know when you started. I don't even know if there is a start point, really. There's not an end point, that's for sure. Right. I mean, over the last 2 years, you went to the U.S., then you went to the U.K., then you went to Europe, then you went back to the U.S., went back to the U.K., did some festivals, played Green Day and Rancid and Swimmers, and then, which I was there, that was pretty sweet. How was that? You guys,
it was phenomenal.
Yeah, over at Hyde Park. I want to say Green Park, the same thing. And then you went back to the U.S. again, which we're at now. I mean, seriously, do you guys ever stop? Is it just? Some people have told me, they're just addicted to it too. Like, once they stop touring, and they're like, "Oh God, what do I do?"
Yeah, that's sort of it, right? I suppose it's a double sort of sword. At first, I guess part A would be like that striking while the iron's hot, right? It's like one day these opportunities might dry up, right? So it's like we want to sort of take advantage of everything while there's some interest in that. And then secondly, yeah, it is, because it'll be like you can be on tour and you'll just be like, "Oh, I'm exhausted," or "I'm burned out," or "I miss X," or "I miss Y," and then it's like you get home and you're home for a couple of days and it's like, well, what do I do now, right? And it's just like you sort of get like sort of this weirdo conditioning kind of starts to happen, and then if you're home long enough, which we haven't been much of in the last couple of years, you sort of then learn how to be normal again. Yeah. But if you're not home long enough, you always sort of have that itch to like split again, because it's a pretty cool life. Yeah, course, so it's like it's easy to miss it when it's not there.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna? I just had a brain fart. Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
Just think about something, you lose it. But so, with that said, is there gonna be an end point or a stopping point, break point, if you will? Well, I'm assuming before you start recording your other stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. So after this tour, the plan is to take a couple months off so I can write the next record, obviously, right? So then in mid-February, the Quiet Slang full length comes out. So
is that pretty much all done then? You're just
it's completely done.
So it's just a matter of release date at this point.
And that's it. Yeah, I just got the art proofs back and everything's looking really good. I got the test pressings in the mail, so it's like that close to being done.
Very nice.
Yeah. So So it'll start back up then. But yeah, there's definitely a plan to say 2.5 months off to give me room to write. Because like the other stuff, I was like just learning how to write on the road and sort of that hurried sort of hustle. And this time, like management and Booker and everyone was just like, let's give you some real time so you don't completely melt down.
Right.
Which I appreciate because I don't know, I don't want the material to start to slag because lack of focus,
Right.
Yeah.
So can we expect can you, not that you can predict anything, can you see, is this sort of like you're going to do both still? You're still going to be beach slang, still going to be the punk stuff, and then you're going to do the quiet slang? Or is this going to be like a more of a transition period where, like some of these other artists out there, like Frank Turner off the top of my head, I don't know if you know.
Oh, sure.
Obviously he was in a punk band, and now he's just a lot more, he's still got that punk attitude to him. He's still singing like the country rockabilly, or like Mike Ness, like we talked about. He does some of his solo stuff. Can you see yourself going down that road, or is it still kind of just too soon at this point? Just kind of like just taking it as it is, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay in both lanes. It's kind of cool to do both. Well, I don't think I'm ready. Well, I know that I'm not ready to abandon that sort of loud, reckless thing because I love that.
Right.
But I think even the process of doing the Quiet Slang record will inform, I think, the evolution of loud slang. I think it will. Mature can be a dirty word, but I think it will mature in certain ways, but I think like in healthy ways, right. So I think it'll be informed by the stuff I've done with Quiet Slang, but yeah, I need to, I still like jumping around with a guitar and sort of exercising, like loud slang's much more of an exorcism and quiet slang's much more of a baptism, it's like, and I think I need both of those to sort of stay balanced, But look, as the knees keep weakening, it's going to be nice to, with Quiet Slang, I'll be touring with a cellist and a pianist.
I know, that's
drinking wine instead of cheap beer, So
I had an idea. I was driving up here. I was like,
lay it on me.
This is the idea. You can have it for free. You can steal it from me. Double headline yourself.
Oh, right on.
Quiet Slang. I mean, you've already thought of this. Quiet Slang and beach slang. So you get all the beach slang, pump it up.
Yeah.
You take a break, right? 30-minute break, come back out. The next headline comes on. It's Quiet Slang.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. That feels very theater.
Yeah, do like a beach slang and then you do a quiet slang. Act 1, Act 2.
Yeah.
Or you can get another band to play in between.
That'd be nice.
Like a transition band,
That's
like
actually,
Dave House would be a good one right in between there, huh?
See?
All right. Well, there you go. You can have that one.
Thanks, man.
So, so speaking of dirtbags, your album, We Were Babies, We Were Dirtbags.
Right on.
What's up with the dirtbags that fucking robbed you guys again? I know they're not the same ones because it happened here.
It did. It
happened
in
here
Austin.
almost a year ago.
It was almost
to the day. It was 2 days after last year.
Unbelievable. It's crazy because I was talking with, I don't know if you're familiar with LA Witch, their band out of LA. It's 3 females and just like more of like a psych rock type, garage band.
Right
but
on.
They had the same thing. Like literally 2 days after I saw them, they had just
really?
they basically kept on going on. Like they played the show that night.
Right on.
That night, I was so impressed. They had lots of help, and people, when times of tragedy, people hopefully, which there is good people in the world that will help you out
for sure.
And
for sure.
So, with that said, do you guys feel like? You guys are like, I don't know.
We did. We felt like we had some sort of weirdo target.
Like an aura or something that's a bad aura, not a good one.
Yeah, we certainly won't tour this time next year, It's like, and it was that thing. This one was a little rougher, man, because at first we just assumed we got towed, right? So, the receptionist at the hotel brought us back behind the desk, and we watched the surveillance tapes, and we saw them drive off with our home, right? So that made it tougher.
What did they? So said you saw it. Did they like tow it off, or they just broke in and just drove it off?
Yeah, like a car pulled up at 3:32. They jimmied the lock, got in. By 3:33, they.
Oh yeah, they're quick, man.
Yeah, and just drove off, and then. Yeah, and the cops were just assuming they took it to some place because they recovered the van and the trailer completely stripped. I mean, to the point where they siphoned the gas out of the gas tank. It was like they really picked it clean.
So that is a dirtbag, man.
It was just like.
But like you said, they did leave a few trinkets, I guess.
They did, and that's where I was like,
I don't know if that's irony. I don't even know if irony is the right word, but
yeah, I took it as like I saw sort of this inherent good that does exist in everyone, even if you're sort of the people who is swiping someone's livelihood. I mean, because what they left is, I bought like a Daniel Tiger DVD for my son, right? I had like. arose from a friend that had passed away from her sort of ceremony, and then I had a statue of like, Mary and Jesus, and they left those.
Well,
and they
I can see them.
The stuff
I can see them
and
leaving
picked
that
it out because the statue was out of the bag I bought it in, so they saw it, and they must have had some moment of conscience.
Yeah, maybe when they saw the Mary Jesus,
they had to, right?
Maybe they freaked out and were like, "Okay, I'm going to hell."
Right. There might have been some moment of now. Look, it didn't bend them quite enough to leave the stuff because they took all of our merch and everything, and it's kind of like, what are you going to do with like 200 Beach Slang tour T-shirts, right? You can't like. Well, that's
they didn't take your dignity though, right? They didn't take your pride.
No, man, we didn't. We sort of did the LA Witch thing. We played the show that night. We haven't missed one. It was just sort of like, and it was cool, man. It's like to like your earlier point. It's like people really do come together when the chips are down. The outpouring of like support, we really felt pretty enveloped in warmth after that, to be completely honest. Like, it was devastating and we momentarily wobbled, but we were laughing 10 minutes later because
what can you do?
That's right. You're at that crossroads where it's like, what choice do you lay down and die, or do you charge forward? And we just don't have that lay down and die chip. Maybe we need some of it, but we just don't have it. This is what we love to do. We're not going to stop.
So anybody in particular that just really helped you out big time? Or, no, I know you've had a lot of people, anonymous people. Can you have any shout outs to anybody?
For sure.
Your label or anybody?
Yeah. Well, like Dave and his band and like See Through Dresses, the other band, right away were like, we have gear, use it. And our friends, so we toured with Jimmy Eat World last year, and so they all live in Arizona, and they came to our show in Phoenix a couple nights ago, and Jim gave me one of his amps to just take on tour. He's just like, no, just take it.
Yeah, very nice.
Just really, so we kind of got, even like our, we had a big kind of backdrop banner, and like that company reached out to Charlie, and they rushed to get us another one. So we'll have that tomorrow. Like this rebuild just sort of, like our merchandiser was like printing right away to get stuff to us. Like a friend from Canada sent me a guitar, which I'll be picking up in Chicago.
Very nice.
Stuff like that. Like we've got a friend like who designed T-shirts and is going to print some, and then just any that he sells, he's going to give us the. It was pretty much. Those are. I don't know. Those are the ones I think off the top of my head.
Obviously, you can't name everybody. I know, but just more of a curiosity.
It was just like it was an avalanche of kindness. Honestly, is I suppose everybody sees themselves, and that could have been me, right? So I think it's pretty easy for people, for good folks like that, to sort of lend a hand because you see yourself as equally vulnerable.
Yeah. Because you never know. You never know. You could get to that point in your life where you want to do something drastic too. You never know. I don't think I would ever personally do something like that just because. But I see a guy walking, especially in Austin. You see a lot of homeless people. They walk by, and then somebody says, "Can I have some change? Here's $5." If you're gonna go take it and smoke crack, are you happy? Fine, I don't care. You know what? I don't care. I'm not the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the
morality.
Police. Thank you. Perfect.
For sure.
I'm not the morality police. Fine. If that's what you want to do. Okay, I feel good. You feel good.
That's
perfect.
It. Yeah, right on, man.
So speaking of feeling good, let's play your future mixtape for the art kids. Huh? Want to do that off of Quiet Slang?
That'd be great.
We'll do
Thanks,
that version, and then we'll be back with James, and of course Charlie.
Play it loud, play it fast. Play me something that will always last. Play it tough, play it quiet. Play me something that might save my life. For broken kids, no one needs. There is heaven in these streets. There is heaven in these streets. I'm with you. Are you with me? We're not lost, we are dying in style. We're not fucked, we are fucking alive. We're not lost, we are dying in style. We're not fucked, we are fucking alive.
Check us out online, www.radsob.com.
All right, we are back. We have James of Beach Slang and, of course, Charlie. If everybody knows, I mean, you've had a pretty tumultuous last 18 months between, as we just spoke about, a robbery just last week. You had another one a year before that here in Austin, as a matter of fact, freaking dirtbags. And you've also had shakeups in your band, including one in particular. You had like some sexual assault happen. I think, what was it, Ruben, that one? Yeah, he's basically, you said, for lack of better words, you know, that ain't cool. Get the hell out. Don't let those doors slam you. I mean, if you stay in touch with him at all, I mean, does he know that, you know, I don't know if you want to say he needs help. I'm not sure if it's a condition or if it's just a one-time thing, but I guess you stay in contact with him at all, or is it sort of just like,
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I gave Ruben the space, you know, and he chosen to sort of not reach out to me. I mean, I see myself as trying to like shine light into the world. So I want to be there for whoever and try to like, but he's opted to sort of not want to have anything to do with me. So, or you know, and I'm not quite sure what that means really. I just,
maybe it just takes time. It could be just
for sure, man. Yeah. And you know, so it's like, and that's where it is right now. I don't know what it means in terms of, you know, the long term.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like dig up dirt or anything like that. We're just curious, because you know, when stuff like that happens, so people, do they stay in touch, you know, or how's it working? So, you know, speaking of that, you know, besides him, and there's all kinds of crap come out about especially lately with the sexual harassment with everything from Harvey Weinstein to the Brand New, that band. They had that crap. I think it was another band. Who was that? It's two dudes. They were a queer band. They're Power Bottom. They had an issue too, and then Louis C.K. Okay, so Charlie had a good point here that she was saying. It was, you know, we can, for lack of better words, we condemn these people like Louis C.K., right? They come out here, which is, they should be. But then other people like Donald Trump, we elect him fucking president. Right. What's up with that? I mean, seriously, that's a very, I know it was probably just a nonchalant thing you want to put out there, and I'm sure you're not the only one that thought that, but it's so true. I mean,
honestly, I don't even have words for it. I don't know how it happens, because like I remember, so like Louis C.K., like all that comes out or whatever, and he literally got dropped off of every network that day. Yeah. And then, you know, Donald Trump literally says out loud he sexually assaults women, and then people are just like, that's fine. So still elected. But I think part of that too is like, actually, I don't know. I really don't know.
So what? With that said, then, so what? It's kind of hard to actually do something. Quote, I'm using the air quotes. You can't see me, but try to do something about sexual harassment, other than, you know, obviously shun it and everything else. But when you have the leader of your country that is not being held accountable for it, so like, what the heck? What are people supposed to do? I mean, other than say, hey, don't do it, it sucks, or don't do it, it's rude, or hey, what if that was your daughter, or if that was your husband, or whatever the case may be? I mean, what can we do? I mean, just more of just a roundtable discussion. What do you think? You have any thoughts on? I mean, you got your own kid now, and obviously, you know, he'll be growing up eventually to be going to concerts, and I mean, what can we do?
I mean, literally, the only thing that anyone can do is hold people accountable for their actions. Like, if people do something like that, like, they shouldn't be allowed to just fucking go around. Am I allowed to say fucking?
You just did twice. No, you're cool.
But they shouldn't be allowed to, like, just keep doing the thing that they're doing. Like,
So
there's too many times where, like, people will come forward, like, multiple people come forward about one specific person, like the brand new one, for example. There's, like, multiple girls. And, like, right now, like, you know, they canceled their tour because of the outpouring of people, like, you know, we're not like selling their tickets, getting refunds, and just being like, we're not going to come to that because that's crazy.
Like, I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. I guess you could protest it by not buying their gear.
Right. And, like, Power Bottom, you know, got dropped from everything after all of their stuff. So it's just like, I think it's just been too long that people just were never held accountable. So, like, I mean, there's no fear to not be a complete piece of shit.
But do you think, and you can chime in here too, James, do you think that we can kind of get too quick to judge people, though? Like this stuff comes out and then it's almost instantaneous. At least the entertainment stuff has been instantaneous, where they get dropped, boom, gone. I'm like, wow, that is, they didn't even. I thought, what happened to the innocent until proven guilty? You know, I mean, not. Granted, they seem like they're pretty damn guilty, but But the fact that it's just so crazy. Like the Louis C.K. thing. I mean, that was like, I didn't hear anything about it, and all of a sudden I heard it, and it was like I heard everything at one full swoop, and I was like, what the.
But he admitted to that.
Yeah,
too.
and to
he
be
was
fair,
just like, all that's true.
To be fair, I personally actually like him as a comedian. His act, he's funny. I mean, he's raunchy, but if you've seen his act, I mean, should that surprise anybody at all? With the stuff that he says he's done. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, and just him and there's all those other people. But I don't know. I'm going way off on a tangent now, but
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, look, the very basic thing is it shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be a problem we have to fix. It's like, as a guy, I don't feel the need to, like, inappropriately grope women. Like, I have enough sort of, respect and discipline to treat women respectfully. So I don't know why it's an issue to begin with, but it is, and it's a rampant one, right? So I think it's a matter of, like, and what we're seeing now is we're putting shame back where it belongs.
Yeah,
so,
it's
like,
perfect.
The perpetrator.
It's almost like the Scarlet Letter, you know?
Yeah, it's like women were made to feel like they did something wrong, or were like, victims are made to feel that way, and I think it's this empowerment, putting the sort of the sort of shame and responsibility of it back on these sort of, like, not very nice men,
the losers,
is proper, right? I mean, that's what needs to happen. It's like accountability is a necessary thing in fixing this, and it's like, look, every cultural change takes time, but it's like this is the most volition this movement's had.
This is exactly what I was gonna say. This is a perfect opportunity for people from everywhere and anywhere in any entertainment, whether it's entertainment or someone working at McDonald's. I mean,
for sure,
come out, dude.
Right.
Don't be scared. I mean, even I know it's easier said than done. One, I'm a guy.
Of course.
Two, I mean, I'm older. I mean, young girls. It's. I can understand completely how difficult it is. I don't know if you've ever had any situation even close to that, or even.
We literally just yesterday had a whole conversation about stuff. I mean, I can think of the first time that I was touched inappropriately by a boy was when I was, like, not even a teenager yet. So it's just like, the other thing is just, like, I just don't know if boys are. Like, it needs to be, like, a thing taught specifically that's just like, you never touch a girl unless she says that it's okay. No matter what. She has to explicitly say, yes, that's fine.
Correct, yeah.
Like, and that's where it's at, as you alluded to my kids. It's like, I'm raising two sons to be gentlemen. It's like, and that stuff generationally, hopefully we can make real progress, right? But yeah, it's been, as we're talking about, as you had said, but I'm a guy, obviously I'm in the same boat, right? But it's like touring now with, like, Charlie and Aurora, it's been wildly eye-opening to how prevalent that behavior is. You know,
Right, yeah.
like Charlie's she basically does everything for me, but she guitar texts for me. And I remember like one of the first nights she goes out and I'm going to paraphrase here, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a guy was basically like, do you even know what you're doing? Like, she had no business touching a guitar, you know? It was just like, why is the assumption because she's female, she doesn't know what she's doing?
I run into that all the time. Is like if I touch a guitar or a pedal, everyone's like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do this literally every night."
You've probably done it more than you or
Right,
whoever's saying it
exactly.
to her. Sure. I mean, I guess that could bring up another issue then, just like the whole women in music or in the feminists. I'm rolling my eyes because I'm just like, I'm sad that we still have to even talk about this shit. Like we're still talking about feminism, which in the light that we're talking about. But like you said, with the whole, yeah, of course I can play guitar. Like these bands that have girls in the bands, or I'll give you like LA Witch. You know, they're all female band.
Sure.
I just sometimes I might mention just to remind people who they are, because you say the band, I'm like, oh, who's that? Oh, those are 3 females. Okay. But I don't care that they're female. I don't care if they're male. I don't care if they're dogs.
Right.
And the same goes for
I would care if they were dogs.
well, you know what I mean. But I was talking to another, I don't know, her name is Cecilia. She's in another band called Gothic Tropic. She was, basically is the band. And she would be in record label deals or something like that. And then the people would never talk to her, even though she's really the band, so to speak. They'd be always talking to the guys. It's just stuff, little things like that. It's totally disrespectful. And I don't, and you know, the director or the producers or the labels or whoever probably don't even know they're doing it.
Right.
I mean, I can't be for certain, but
Right. Well, there's a thing
it's like kind of like you said when they're taught.
generationally
Yeah.
ingrained, you know, it's just like, because I remember there was this is sort of the funnier spin on it, but you know, she's out there with the guitar and some guy's like, do you even know how to play that thing? And she's like, well, yeah, you know, and he's like, well, then play Eruption by Van Halen.
Really?
She hands him the guitar and she's like, you play fucking Eruption, you know? And it was like, you know, he was like, I don't know how to play, you know? And it's sort of like, well, what are you doing then, right? It's just, so that was sort of, but it's like, I'm thankful for how much it's opened my eyes to see it. I mean, I was raised by a single mom and everything, so I've always been like aware and like, I mean, I was obviously raised a very certain way, which I'm very thankful for, but to see it, I just, you know, we live in this bubble called beach slang, right? And it's pretty utopian-esque inside of that bubble. And then my eyes get woken up to it, seeing, I mean, Charlie's my best friend, you know, Aurora's my lead guitarist, and it's like seeing what they go through is, you know, man, it's disheartening, to put it mildly, you know, but it's just, and I'm just like, this, when does it end? You know, because you know, every generation, it's like, well, it's 1979. Can you believe we're still? It's 2017, and we're still talking about like, you don't think a woman's capable of tuning a guitar?
Yeah,
it's just, it's insanity.
I mean, there's people in the military, and there's people. Anything the man can do, a woman can do. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. I mean, there's some limitations, but. Same thing. I mean, I can't do a lot of stuff women do. I mean, look at me. I'm small and I'm pretty feminine for a guy. You know, I was like, I'm not. Oh, who cares?
Without a doubt. Yeah. As long as somebody's doing the job and getting it done, I didn't
see them complaining during World War II, right? When they all went in the factories.
That's right. Yeah.
Doing all the shitty jobs.
Precisely. Yeah. It's so. Yeah.
But okay. Well, we'll digress. Let's take a break real quick.
Sure.
All right. What do you want? But we'll put on a little faster song. Put on one of your.
Can we play Atom Bomb?
I love Atom Bomb. Perfect. We'll
Be
put
great.
on Atom Bomb.
Tick,
social issues and current events. Radio Soapbox.
All right, we are back. Just got playing Atom Bomb, Beach Slang. That's a little bit harder, and then we'll finish it off. We'll play one more at the end. We'll put probably something else from the Quiet Slang on.
Cool.
We'll let Charlie pick it. How about that? Sound good? All right. So, there's obviously the Second Amendment. I can never quote it verbatim, but obviously it's about guns, and even though I'm a history teacher, but basically you can have a well-regulated militia, right? And I think I don't know how much are you into politics and history and whatnot, but basically that means it's not an army. It's just a basic group of people, in case, kind of like what happened when we became America. We didn't have an army. We had a well-regulated militia. Right. So somebody had mentioned somewhere, they said, it'd be a great idea is if you want, fine, we're not going to be able to take guns away from everybody, obviously with all the different tragedies that have happened over the last couple of years, or actually over the last forever. Yeah, especially lately, Sure. It's like, why not make them the people? If you want to own a gun, you have to be part of a militia. Like a stand down militia, obviously, and it could be certain laws regulating it because you don't want them to have coups and stuff and crazy. But you have some sort of a well-regulated militia. And definition of Alexander Hamilton actually said in the Pharaoh's Papers, definition of a well-regulated militia is somebody that they meet once or twice. His quotes: once or twice a year. People don't do that,
right?
And they don't have to be trained like an army. Okay. So with that said, I don't know if that sounds like a good starting off point, maybe something, or what is your thoughts? What can we do? We're not going to get rid of guns. I mean, seriously, we're just not. I mean, as much as I would like to get rid of guns, I'm not a gun guy.
We'll never be able to get rid of guns, so it's just not going to happen.
I mean, if you stopped it right now, there's still a million guns, or there's more than a million.
Like, we're realistic about it. But so I just wanted to say, okay, so my mom's a pretty big gun person, which I still don't know how I came from that family. None of us are alike on any level. But so when I turned 18, I don't even know if you know this, she made me take like a concealed carry license class or whatever. And it was like maybe 6 hours long or whatever, and then you can just get a gun after that. But then I want to say maybe 25 minutes of it was actually shooting guns and how to handle them and stuff, and the rest of the time is just what to do if a cop comes and you have one on you or whatever. And I'm just this is not enough training for someone to carry lethal force. And Ohio has one of the more extensive things for you to be able to carry guns, and it was only that long. And I was so uncomfortable the whole time. I was I hate this so much. And then all 50 people in that class went out and bought a gun that day. They have firearms, and I'm just that makes me so uncomfortable.
Well, we'll give your mom some props. We'll give her some props. At least she made you take the course. You know what I mean?
Well, this is true.
I'll give her some props.
She's a complete dork, though. She loves talking about how whatever. She loves having a gun.
She's gonna be like a zombie apocalypse. She needs to be have a bunker and all that.
I don't think that she can handle that, though. I think she just likes saying she's a girl with a gun. It's real dorky.
So what do you think we can do? What are you guys? I'm sure you guys talked about this traveling, and you guys got especially your long days from Phoenix. What can we do, man? Other than obviously make it stricter, harsher penalties would obviously be fantastic.
I think we could sort of downgrade this sort of macho sort of thing. It's I've never fired a gun, I've never held a gun, and I feel completely fulfilled in life, right? There's this it's the sort of same thing about, it's almost that meat eater or truck if you drive a big kind of we don't need to try to be the John Wayne mentality sort of needs to melt down a little bit. I think look, there's people who get a firearm strictly for say the protection of their home. If there's any relatability I have, I suppose I can kind of get it there.
But why do you need protection from the home? Because people are crazy and have guns. They're not coming in to hit your head with a baseball bat.
So that was a huge thing that I remember from taking my concealed carry course, because one of the guys was actually very sensible. He was someone breaks into your house and you have a gun or whatever, and you're just get out. But if you have kids, you probably have that locked somewhere.
True.
You're not going to have the time to take it out of the case. So, one, you can either keep it out of a case, so it's unsafe completely.
That's another story altogether.
Or the other thing you can do is keep it in a case, and the reason that you have it in the first place, it's just not you're not going to be able to get it out in time or sneakily or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't make any I'm sorry, it just doesn't make any sense. Like if someone breaks into your house, you're not going to sneak down the stairs and just be like, 1 second, open your gun case and then just be like, okay. Yeah, exactly. 12 paces that way.
Well, it's just like, I use the example, just, a couple weeks ago, obviously the church shooting happened just right outside San Antonio, like an hour and a half away from here. There are people, the right-wing people are going to say, hey, there was I don't know if you guys have followed up on the story at all, but I guess somebody was present out there that had a shotgun in his car or something and sort of like chased him down the road until the police got there and whatnot. Like, well, look, he saved many lives because he had a gun and all that.
Sure.
I mean, sure, I agree with that. And then people say, well, having these guns, having guns, they're going to save a lot of lives. But there's also still people dying. I mean, so if one person dies, that's too many. So to say only 8 people are going to die because somebody has a gun, that's still too many people.
Right, yeah.
If it's 15, 20, 80, 2, 1, or a massive injury, it's still for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live out in the Alaska bush, I used to live out there, lots of people have guns out there for obvious reasons. When they had the Second Amendment written, okay, first, we didn't live in cities for the most part.
Right.
We were still fighting Native Americans. Okay, we're still protecting our land, still hunting for food. Last time I checked, 99.9% of people don't go hunting for food. We go to the grocery store to get animal products, not you guys, but...
Yeah, the Second Amendment was literally written to keep bears and the British off our lawns. That was it. No, it's not what it's like right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I don't understand why... things get changed. We'll use the prohibition as an example. They outlawed liquor.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work out too well, so they changed their mind. No, but but they gave it a shot.
Right.
They gave it a shot.
Sure.
Why can't they give it a shot? Not necessarily outlaw guns, but stricter penalties, man. I mean,
considerably stricter too, right?
Yeah, not just stricter background check. You don't need a freaking AK-47, dude.
Right, and they're even now looser under the Trump administration, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
So it's like. We
dirtbag.
Like we toured Australia a little bit ago, where like guns are sort of ill, and it was. Look, say you have a disagreement, and let's even say it escalates into a fist fight.
Yeah.
Odds are you're going to walk away with
some bruises,
and your ego's a little shook, but you're going to like wake up the next day and maybe become better from the experience.
Yeah. Well, because you're going to have your life, and the other person's going to have their life too, for that matter, because they won't be in prison.
Right? It's just like there's something pretty beautiful in wandering around a country without the fear of, itchy trigger fingers with something to prove, right? I mean, there's a lot of angry people in the world, and it's just in a moment, in a snap of a finger, you make a decision that changes everything, right?
And it's such an easy decision too, if you will, to do that, because
in that moment, sure.
Because if you and I are going to have a fight right now, it'd be, if I pull a gun out, boom, done. Yeah. But if we're going to have a fight, or even if I'm going to get whatever, that coffee pot and hit you on the head, I mean, we're going to have a tussle, But
sure.
I don't know if have you been to Japan at all?
No.
You haven't? Oh, well, you're missing out. Cause
if
you think Australia's safe,
okay.
oh my goodness,
yeah.
You can walk downtown Tokyo with your kid can walk down the road.
That's great.
And it'd be like no problem at all. But so, would you rather your kid say, "I'm scared to go to school," or, "Hey, I own a gun"? What?
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes down to that, right? I mean, my kids are doing drills at school for active shooters. They should not have to go through that. They're at school. Yeah. Churches now, not the chicken place.
Okay.
Unless they want to give us a sponsorship, but churches,
Sure.
Their congregations now, they are doing gun trainings, and there's people arming themselves at church.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, I don't really have anything else to say other than that. I mean, it's just like,
we're spiraling into an alternate universe where it's like. We're basically framing our own demise, right? It's like, because what quality of life are we going to have if everybody's, holstering a weapon at all times? It's just, I don't know. I have a very, I have a very small platform in the world, and the only thing I try to preach from that platform is tenderness. I suppose that's where it is. That's where it lies, right? It's going to be people instilling in their kids, and I get it. It's like. So my sons are going to grow up to be soft and not holstering a weapon or trying to, build their muscles to be a bully.
Yeah.
So I suppose the counter argument is, well, what happens when the bully picks on them? It's like, well, they learn how to be diplomatic and not engage, right? It's just like if we just are guided by fear or intimidation, and we all go down that slide, well, that's where we are now. That's that's where we end up. It's like somebody has to have the courage to be gentle.
Yeah.
Someone has to have the courage to be kind. Like, to me, it's almost like, as we were talking about the assault stuff, I think it lies, like most stuff, like most cultural shifting, in education. And unfortunately, those wheels, they grind slowly. They take a long time to do it. It's courage. It's courage to be softer in what can be a tough world.
There's a lot of there's a lot of money out there within guns, or all the things that are having issues, like NFL and other stupid things going on. I mean, there's so much money wrapped up in that.
Of course.
I mean, sometimes it's a slippery slope. Sometimes is it difficult? Yeah, of course it is. It's going to be difficult to combat against these things that you believe, or that we believe, and whoever else listens to us. Yeah, if one person decides, I'm not going to, they make good points. I don't need to have a gun.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm happy.
Right.
It's one less person being an idiot.
Yeah. And that's why subcultures exist. That's why I live in this world, in this scene with these people like Charlie, because we believe this is an option.
Yeah.
That you don't need to be,
Billy Badass.
You don't need to be, exactly. You don't need to be that. Like, there's a lot of people in the world who believe you don't have to be that. Look, I mean, it'd be very easy for humanity to topple over, right? I wrote a thing after we got robbed about, humans inherently want to.
Yeah, I read that. That was very, I love that too, by the way.
Thanks,
that was
man.
just well written.
And I believe it, right? Inherently, we want to be good, because think of how we would have caved in already, right? So let's never forget that the numbers lie on the side of light, not dark. So I raise good kids.
Yeah,
I think that's the key.
I completely agree 100%, because you teach the kids the right things, and I think they'll follow. I mean, that kids are going to look at their parents and what their parents do.
Well, there's a kid being born right now that's going to be president. That's going to dictate public policy. That's going to
Hopefully, it's not Donald Trump's grandson.
Precisely, right?
Shit.
So it's like let's try to do our best to make sure there's one of the good ones that are going to fall into that role in however many years.
It's crazy though, because Austin is a complete opposite of the rest of Texas.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, here, and generally speaking, I'll use I guess if you want to call it derogatory, but they kind of support it. They're weirdos, right? And they're tree huggers. People like to call them. Fine, if you want to call us tree huggers, fine. Sure. Well, the rest of people, they're tree choppers.
Okay, right.
They'll like. It's so strange how this city, the capital of the state, is the complete opposite of the rest of the state.
Yeah.
But you ran across any weirdos here or any bad art?
Nice.
Huh?
Nice, man. Delightful weirdos, man.
Yeah. I don't mean crazy people. No,
it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but just some characters.
Yeah,
is a good way to say
great.
it.
There's freedom here that is people exercise to the fullest, and I dig that. Right? It's like. It's nice people are self-aware enough to know that's who they are, and they want to be in a place like that, you know?
Hopefully
the best part is us and all the other little weirdos are infinitely happier than anyone else who's got that hyper masculine, something to prove, tough guy attitude. It's like, my life's so much better than yours because of just being kind and just not stupid.
Yeah.
Running around on guard all the time is that's a tough existence, man. Of course.
So, okay, with that said, how about we put on bad art and weirdo ideas, but we're gonna do the quiet version.
Oh, thanks, man.
Does that sound good?
On, yeah.
Okay, we'll put that on, and you can get that now. Obviously, all the normal digital sites, iTunes, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. I hate Spotify, so I'm not going to mention them. But even though I just did. But you can get, is there a place to get physical copies? People still love physical copies. I don't know if you have a vinyl. I saw the CD out the merch stand.
At beachslang.com. You can kind of get it through there. Just go straight to Polyvinyl Records, Okay,
Polyvinyl. Yeah. I'm sure you have I know you have a Bandcamp site too from your original days. Yeah, still going strong, I guess.
Yeah, it's still there for sure.
I know you get a little bit more cut on that stuff, and make sure you go. I tell people this: buy merch when you guys go to concerts. Buy merch, even if it's just a pin. Even if it's especially these the not huge bands. They don't mark up their stuff much.
No,
they do it to make money. They got to haul this shit around.
Yeah, it's the stuff.
That's why they charge $15 for a vinyl when it's only really like 12. Whoop-de-doo, right?
Yeah. That
Like-
really is the stuff that keeps bands running.
It is.
You know, it truly is. You
I
know.
don't think people know that. Like
They don't.
We live and die by merch sales, really.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the venues that are crap bags that try to take cuts on your guys' merch, shame on them because they're making enough money on the alcohol and everything else.
Those hurt.
I don't know.
It is.
I don't
rough.
know. We won't mention any names. I'm sure you've been there and done that. I don't know if this is one of them or not, but taking.
It is funny on like it's like a Tuesday night or something, and like the bar did thousands of dollars in alcohol sales, and they're like, well, we need 20% of what you sold tonight. It's just like, yeah, but were you gonna do thousands of dollars on a Tuesday?
Yeah, right.
You
Exactly.
weren't.
Good point. That's a very good point. That's very good. Okay. Well, with that said, go buy the album. Go look for the new stuff in the spring, supposedly February, right? You said? Well, actually, technically it won't be spring. It'll still be winter. So it'll still be winter. Get the new Quiet Slang. You can get the EP for right now. It's got 2 covers on it. It was we had the replacements on there
Replacements and Big Star.
Yeah, Big Star. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Should be
I'm so
good.
bad with the microphone.
No, you're cool, man. Okay. Yeah.
Also,
and
the full length is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. That's all.
Thank you, Charlie.
They will have they'll have a few more shows after Austin, and then they're gonna take a little break, I guess, and then you'll have a few months off and enjoy it. You guys need to take a break, dude. Seriously.
We surely will. Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep for like 4 days after this tour, just straight.
You guys, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, yeah. Let's leave it at that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Radio Soapbox. Check us out online, www.radsob.com.
The sound of your heart is wired to break. Too fucked up to love, too soft to hate. The hum of your love is my favorite thing. And the air you show out into my I've always felt stuck, alone or ashamed. The gunner's too tough, the stars are too safe. And I was that kid, always out of place. I try to get through. I've never known how. Tracing the lines on your handsome face. The scars on your arms, the shape of your veins. We are not alone, we are not mistakes. Don't whisper now. We're allowed to be loud.
Thanks for listening to Radio Soapbox. Check us out online, www.radsob.com.